homeschoolblueprint.com. So if your homeschool days feel inconsistent, overwhelming, or a little chaotic, the problem usually isn't your child or your children, it's the structure of your homeschool. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a homeschool schedule that actually works for your family without burning yourself out. So again, I am Carmen Andrea Harris. I am an educator, a former classroom teacher. I have a Master of Arts in Teaching. I'm also a homeschool consultant and a homeschool mom. I've been homeschooling my children traditionally, both of them, since 2020. And I help families to create a simple, effective homeschool routine that feels calm, clear, and sustainable. So let's talk about what actually works when it comes to homeschool scheduling. So I'm going to tell you why most schedules don't work. Most homeschool schedules don't work, and they fail for one of two reasons. The first one is they're either too rigid, you're too strict on your schedule, or there's no structure at all. It's rarely in between. It's either one or the other. So when a schedule is too rigid, it doesn't leave room for real life, so it quickly falls apart. And when there's no structure, the days can feel scattered and unproductive. And before you know it, time has gotten away from you, weeks and months, and you don't even know what your children have learned. So what you actually need is something in the middle, something that lies in the middle between being too rigid and having absolutely no structure at all. So now we're going to talk about how to shift from a strict schedule to a rhythm, a flow, something that feels organic and authentic to you and your family. So instead of trying to plan every hour of your day, I want you to think in terms of a daily rhythm, a daily flow, something that feels good to your family and also feels like you got something accomplished during the day. So a rhythm gives your day flow, and it gives your day consistency without pressure. So let's talk about a simple homeschool daily rhythm. Here's a simple example of what it could look like. In the morning, you could do focused learning. This is typically when children are most alert, and you can focus on core subjects like reading, writing, and math. When I was a traditional classroom teacher, in the mornings, after we did our morning work, attendance, and all the just the different things that you have to do, we focus on math first, because that is when children are most alert in the morning time. That is when they're able to really focus and pay attention and absorb the information. So that's just an example of what you can do to get your day going. In the morning, focus your learning on the subjects that you know you want your children to learn, okay? Subjects like reading, writing, language arts, and math. So now let's talk about how you can continue on with your simple daily rhythm. In the middle of the day, we talked about in the morning focusing on the core subjects, and then in the middle of the day, the afternoon, you can focus on independent or light work. This could be independent learning, this could be online programs depending on the age of your child, or quieter activities. I know, right? Nobody reads these days. Unfortunately, that is true for some people. So the middle of the day is also a great time for you to step back and to allow your child to build independence, because in the beginning of your homeschool, you're probably going to be very hands-on. You're probably going to be right there with your child, coaching them. But the goal is to get them more independent. So as they get older, if you are going to continue homeschooling, they can plug into an online digital program, and that will also get them ready for perhaps going to college online or just learning different things online. Because as someone said here, a lot of people don't read a lot, and we're shifting into the technology age and online learning and all of those things. So you want to incorporate that as well, okay? So this is also a great time for you to step back and to allow your child to build independence, because that is the end goal. You know, at the end of your child's homeschool journey, you want to prepare them for real life, and you want to help them to be independent and be able to focus in the real world. So in the afternoon, you could focus on flexible and creative learning. So use this time for hands-on activities, projects, reading, or even life skills like cooking, cleaning up, organizing your space. going on outings to maybe the library or the grocery store or something like that. So learning doesn't always have to look like sitting at a table. In the beginning, when you first start your homeschool, you may set it up like school at home where your children have desks and it's very rigid. But as time goes on, you're going to realize that learning at home does not only look like sitting at a desk and working. And absolutely, like, depending on your child, some children don't want to sit at a desk. They want to get up and move around. I have two children. I have been homeschooling both of them since 2020. They have totally different learning styles, totally different personalities. One of them is very structured. They will sit at a desk and do their work. The other one absolutely will not. They have to be on the floor. They have to be stretched out, laid out on the couch, and that is totally fine, especially when you're homeschooling, because again, homeschooling is not meant to replicate school at home. So when your day has a natural rhythm like this, like the ones that I just shared, things begin to feel more manageable and less stressful for both you and your children. Because remember, you don't want to create tension in your homeschool day. You want to create flow. You don't want your child not looking forward to school or not liking their teacher, which is you. So you want to create as much flow as possible while also making sure that your children are learning. So let's talk about adjusting for your family. Now your schedule should reflect your real life, okay? Depending on what type of lifestyle you live, you want to organize your homeschool around that, while also making sure that you are sticking to your state laws and making sure you're adhering to those first and foremost. And then you're going to align your homeschool plan with your actual lifestyle. So if you have multiple children, different ages, or other responsibilities, your rhythm may look different, and that is completely okay. As I said, I have two children that I'm homeschooling in two totally different grades. So it's a different flow than someone who is homeschooling maybe just one child, or twins or triplets that are the same age. So the goal is not perfection in homeschool. The goal is creating something that works consistently for your family, not the families that you see on YouTube or TikTok and they look like they have it all together and they have their curriculum and their schedule and their this and their that. Like, no, you need to create something that works for your family, because every family is different. Every family's reason for homeschooling is different. So you want to make sure that it flows with what you have going on. So a few things that you want to avoid is, number one, you want to avoid overpacking your day. Okay, chances are in the beginning of your homeschool year, your homeschool routine, you're going to be finding your flow. So don't pack it up with a bunch of different subjects, a bunch of different activities, because that's just going to cause unnecessary overwhelm. You also want to avoid trying to do too much at one time, especially in the beginning. And as years go on, you're going to find your flow and you're going to realize that a lot of the anxieties that you had and a lot of the things that you wanted to get done were really unnecessary and just caused unnecessary stress and burden. Another thing, the last thing that you want to avoid is constantly changing your schedule. I recommend creating a schedule, sticking with that schedule for the first 90 days, seeing how it works, and then adjusting as necessary. So consistency is what's going to build your confidence in homeschooling your children, because with homeschooling, you have to have the proper mindset, because there's going to be a bunch of naysayers telling you, you shouldn't be homeschooling your children and you should be doing this, and why aren't they going to public school or traditional school and this and that. So you have to know that you're homeschooling for a particular reason, and you have to keep that in your forefront, the forefront of your mind, as you continue to homeschool your children and learn your own personal flow. So it's not about getting it perfect. It's just about being consistent. And once you continue to be consistent, it's going to build your confidence to where it doesn't matter what the outside voices say or what society says. And you're going to get into a real flow to where you're able to just focus. So if you're thinking, I actually need help creating a schedule like this, if you are thinking about homeschooling, or you've decided to take the leap in homeschool and you have no idea like what you're going to do from here, I want to tell you about my Homeschool Blueprint. I have a digital video framework. It's called the Homeschool Blueprint. And in that framework, I walk you through how to build your homeschool structure step by step. And if you feel like you want to schedule something where you're working with me one-on-one, you don't want to do the digital course where it's self-led and you apply it on your own, I actually offer a one-on-one homeschool clarity session and a homeschool strategy package where you can work with me one-on-one and get clarity on your homeschool structure and what you're going to do. And if you want to go a little bit deeper, the homeschool strategy package, I actually sit with you for an hour and a half and we help to plan out your entire homeschool structure so that you're confident, you know what you're doing, and you are able to just hit the ground running and go from there. So your homeschool doesn't have to feel chaotic. Always remember that. And with the right structure, it can feel calm, consistent, and even enjoyable. So if this video helped you, make sure that you're subscribed, number one, and make sure that you have your notifications on so that you're able to know when I go live again. And don't forget to go to my website, homeschoolwithcarmen.com. When you go on the website, you'll be able to see the link for the Homeschool Blueprint and the Homeschool Clarity session. And I'm also going to link it in the video description below. So thank you so much for watching, those of you who hung out with me live and those of you who will catch this on the replay. I am Carmen Andrea Harris of homeschoolwithcarmen.com, and I can't wait to help you create the homeschool plan that works for you and your family. Peace and